First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
I think there are some things that President Trump wants to do that should not be knocked out of court straight away. And I think that the line he's taken, the very hard line he's taken on immigration, and the very hard line he's taking on drug cartels and treating them essentially as terrorists, I think that has merit to it. My problem is with the context in which these policies are done, because in general, I think what Trump did yesterday is to move away from the idea of international and national rules-based order towards a new kind of Wild West, a new kind of buccaneering lawlessness. So the measures that he's taking with terrorists, the measures that he's taking with drug gangs to make them terrorists, and the measures he's taking on immigration, they only work if we all share a common belief that rules and law and order are properly maintained. In that context, yes, what he's done is right. And I think, we need to think here in Europe and in the UK, we're caught up in the crossfire of all of this. There's no doubt about that. We need to rethink a lot of what we're doing very, very quickly, whether it's policies like this or whether trade policies or defense and security. Our minds need to spin, and we need to come up with something in Europe pretty damn quickly, to be honest. But we may well think that the attitude taken by Trump, the line taken by Trump to Mexican drug cartels, is correct and right. And basically what he's saying to these people is that you can be shot on sight. If we see you and decide to kill you, we will kill you. And I think that is justified. I think that is absolutely understandable. And equally, for those people who are unlawfully in the United States of America, they must expect to be sent back to where they came from, because the rule of law must be upheld. And the rule of law also applies to Mexican drug cartels. We've all seen Breaking Bad. We've all seen how these people work. And many of us know there are very sophisticated pathways and routes that the drug dealers take to get the length and breadth of the United States of America. And they're kind of known about, but there's not the wherewithal to stop them. So using fighters, using shooters to stop them could work, but it will only work if there is lawfulness more generally. And freeing the January 6th rioters, President Trump called them hostages. I mean, they weren't hostages. They were people paying the lawful penalty for what they did to try to overthrow American democracy and hang President Trump's own vice president. So that's my problem with this. And I'm one of those people that has said, we here in the United Kingdom need to be tougher with people crossing the channel in small boats. It's not the same thing. But the desire to protect borders, that has to do with the lawfulness of borders. That has to do with our respect for law and order, and that people who break the law must be held to account. So what Trump is giving with the one hand, he's taking away with the other. And that equals chaos. That equals chaos. And, will there be a gunfight at OK Corral if this policy is really enacted with drug cartels? And it could be anywhere in America, because the drugs go all over the United States, these sort of semi-secret routes. There could be shooting all over the place. What we think Trump wants to do is establish a fortress America. Again, we're caught up in this here because Fortress America excludes Europe. And Fortress America, Trump has said, it will consist of a powerful military with orders to shoot to kill America's enemies, whilst at the same time erecting an iron dome around the United States to prevent it from missile attack from abroad. So Fortress America is to be a place where American power is used to keep America safe from outside. And these drug cartels are seen as coming from outside and predominantly from Mexico. And there's no doubt in my mind that if Trump were to feel the only way that the drug cartels could be taken out of American lands would be to attack Mexico and attack them in Mexico, then I think he would do that. And in effect, he would be waging a war in Mexico. Now, it wouldn't be against the Mexican government. He regards the Mexican government as powerless to do anything about it. But it would be an American attack on Mexican territory to destroy the highly dangerous people. I mean, we should be under no illusions whatsoever. These people are killers. They're slow killers when it comes to drugs, and they're quick killers when it comes to people who try to stop them selling their drugs or grass on them. So using the military could mean an attack on Mexico. And in theory, it could mean attacks on sources of drugs coming from other places. It could be an airstrike, but the U.S. Marines, they have a reputation for extremely effective action. The Navy SEALs. I mean, this is the most powerful man on earth right now. May not last for long, but at the moment, he is the most powerful man on earth, untrammeled by a respect for law and order. He spent 4 years nursing his grievances. Just think of President Biden there. As you and I have said it in the past, in foreign policy, Biden has been a terrible failure, I'm afraid. There's no doubt. But what a brave man he was, sitting there listening to Trump tear his presidency to shreds and ignoring the many things that Biden did do domestically to make America stronger and hand over a stronger America to Trump. Americans will watch as American power is deployed. The most powerful man right now has the most powerful forces in the world. And those who are America's enemies will tremble at what he is able to do. And yes, we're thinking of not just of Mexico, Venezuela, above all of Colombia. And we've seen the drugs basically take countries in Latin America and turn them into drug empires. If Trump takes them on and destroys the rule of the drug barons, that is also to our advantage here in the United Kingdom. I think the sparks are going to fly, and as I say, that's not to our disadvantage. What is to our disadvantage is the culture of lawlessness in the United States of America, and that is something that will affect us very deeply. And we will also be affected by a fortress America, because if America truly is turned into a fortress with this iron dome shield around it, then what happens in respect of Europe and any possible unleashing a further aggression by Putin in Europe is no longer of direct concern to the United States of America. That is the Pax Trumpicana, if you could call it that. That is the peace that Trump envisages. It is a peace for America, but it is not a peace for the rest of the world. And in particular, it is not a peace for America's closest allies. And one day, Trump will need friends. We all need friends. We all get into trouble. Doesn't look like that today, but one day it will. And those friends need to be there for America in America's, if America has trouble. And, the 25% tariffs on Canada will destroy Canada, will weaken Canada. It is catastrophic. And we should not forget here in the United Kingdom that we are happily sharing the same ideas on the Constitution, and we are, both of us, delighted to have the same head of state, His Majesty King Charles III. So it's not a matter of indifference to us either in this country what is done to Canada by Trump.